what someone tweeted earlier, that all the card readers are working in the north, and many of the card readers are not working in the south. But so it puts paid to
between me and you, 72 polling units, right? And all the card readers fail. Are you sure it has nothing to do with? Is not. I mean, are you sure? Are we sure it is not connected with that lining, that foil?
The cellophane.
Yes, the cellophane. Because
that's been ludicrous for them for that.
But it happened.
But how can 72?
Not to talk of like in a place like a rural area.
And remember, in a polling center, they are likely to have like 2. And 72 polling centers, and all failed.
And then, of course, it also calls to the question the issue of training for the INEC officials there. I mean, 72 of the card readers, not even 72 polling units.
Yes.
And you're talking of almost 140 or 150 card readers.
All failed.
It's very difficult to swallow.
It may be training, but I think that the issue of the cellophane, right? I think somebody just forgot to tell somebody about it. I think we're just extremely lucky to discover it.
I think people just took it for granted.
Yeah.
That if you open something new, you would kind of know how to unpack it. And
you know that cellophane
not always
thing,
the things we take
that
for
cellophane
granted.
thing is on your phone also.
Correct.
You know, so
yeah, it's very basic and elementary. I'm surprised that would even be.
Somebody needed to teach them. Somebody needed to teach them. I think this has something to do with the training.
There's another issue that came up in just that conversation with Blessing that, again, I'm interested in sort of talking about, which is, she said, they're difficult terrains in Borno, and a place which used to be just 200 kilometers away because of the bad roads and everything, likely to take longer. And so again, this issue of us not being able to declare results in a timely manner, how important is it that actually we should be able to sort of have elections and within a very short period of time be able to say conclusively who has won and who has not, in your views?
As far as I'm concerned, I think the only reason why it is looking as if the area has is probably a difficult terrain, it's just because of the insurgents or the terrorists.
No, but I'm talking generally. Here we are in Nigeria, it's day 3. We had elections starting from Saturday, and Sunday's come and gone, Monday is here. We may or we may not get results today, maybe up until the early hours of maybe Tuesday morning. And I'm just saying, how important do you think it is to generally the development and the deepening of democracy that we develop a system whereby we can actually, declare results as quickly as possible? Or is this something that doesn't really matter?
No, it matters a lot, but
very important.
I see it as just some kind of failure on the side of INEC. In cases like this, it has to do with INEC. Because if, like people were grumbling and complaining, you go to many places, INEC didn't get there before 12. And you're talking about a difficult terrain. Maybe the INEC officials are staying in Maiduguri, Probably it is on the day of the voting that they decided to go there. For that, I mean, it can be explained. Believe me, if INEC can do something about their time management and also go with all the materials needed, we can achieve what you're suggesting.
It's actually something that needs to be thought out in detail. I remember in the early days of elections in Nigeria, okay, I'll take the 2007 and 2011 elections. A lot of the inadequacies, especially late arrival of voting materials, were witnessed in the areas of difficult terrain. In the north, it was the mountainous areas,
correct,
or the very remote ones with very poor access roads. In the far south, it was the riverine areas, where you don't have roads, so a lot of the journey had to be done, on the water, through the creeks and all that. And of course, militant activity and everything considered. INEC would always say it is because of difficult terrain that.
But then it goes without saying that because of the importance of of the endeavor, they should have had a dry run, a mock test. They know those. They should have. We have to have.
Well,
this length of time to prepare.
Actually, that excuse doesn't even hold water in the light of the fact that we even used Lagos as an example.
Exactly.
One, where the roads are better, we don't have issues of difficult terrain.
Exactly.
And then two, because of restriction of movement, there's no traffic to impede, the speedy progress of the voting materials to their ultimate destinations. And still, we had issues of the electoral materials either not arriving in time or not even arriving at all.
Or not even complete.
INEC will need to give an explanation to Nigerians.
Should we be talking to the National Assembly about including in the INEC budget funds for buying vehicles?
No, not necessarily.
Can I say something? I was just about to say.
I'm just throwing it out.
INEC budget, to the best of my knowledge, is in excess of 800 billion naira before the recent devaluation, right? So for me, I'm sure there's something in there for vehicles, right? I think it is just we are not really ready to deal with the issues that confront us. Because if you ask me, time management, yes. Logistics, we recognize the challenges, right? But they're not insurmountable. India is 1+ billion people. They do their elections.
Yeah, but
so
they stagger them and they run them over weeks.
Then maybe we should do that, because after Ekiti and Osun and the other, we realize that maybe we should stagger the elections. Now, coming back to the issue of better use of technology, you know what I mean, and all of that, but we can't be having this election. We get reports of, some youth corper or INEC official was arrested because he was moving around with sensitive materials, because he was asked to go with public transport or something, and then they had to come rescue him from his jailers because they couldn't believe that he was allowed to run around with materials. You know,
ended up taking so much of his time. Well, we'll just have to hold that thought, because any moment from now, well, it's almost top of the hour, and we will be taking the news coming up. And when we return at 5:30 a.m., we will continue, and of course, the issue of INEC and terrain and difficulties of arrival of voting materials and all that. I think it's something that actually merits looking into. But for now, Nigeria 2015, the discussions will be taking a break as we bring you the news at top of the hour.